Yo, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Now today is going to be a super special video, and the reason why I say that is because we got a brand new update for Farlight 84. Now today is going to be the 15th of June, and listen, man, this was probably one of the biggest updates to help accelerate this game, bigger than Fortnite, Apex, Warzone, all that. And that's going to be number one. We finally got controller settings for Steam. Listen, man, this game has been super fun on keyboard and mouse and on mobile, but we needed to add some extra spice in order to help accelerate past those. And that's going to be controllers. So we finally got some controller settings that I'm going to be showing you guys today that have hopefully can help you guys, but have been helping me a lot since I've been playing, because I've been playing all morning with these controller settings, and hopefully they help you guys. So we're going to be helping you guys with the controller settings today, and then we're going to be helping with the graphics because they did update the game on mobile for 120 FPS. And that is honestly insane because a lot of mobile games only hit like 60 max. So to see a game hit 120 on mobile is absolutely insane. So unfortunately, this video is going to be a little bit more tailored for Steam players just because of controller settings and everything. But if you guys do want to, get a little bit nice movement out of the game and everything with the settings, then go ahead and drop a like on today's videos. It is greatly appreciated. Make sure to subscribe button so you don't miss any more content from myself. This is going to be my first Farlight video, so I haven't really made a lot, but I'm going to be trying to upload at least twice a week, whether it be like high kill gameplay or just ranked play wins or whatever. So, and last but not least, leave a comment in the comments below. Maybe you guys stumbled upon a setting in the controller that I didn't mention. You guys want to let the world know, hey guys, put it on this setting. But yeah, or just if you guys are grateful for me dropping this video for you guys, then like I said, go ahead and drop a comment in the comments below. It is greatly appreciated, and it helps the algorithm, and hopefully we can reach this video to all you Farlight players. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the settings. All right, as you guys can see, I am in game right now at the main lobby, and check this out. You see a white dot next to Lucinda's thigh here? Look at this. You have full controller support. This is absolutely amazing, man. So, like I said in today's video, we are going to be going over mainly controller settings, a couple of graphics settings, maybe like one or two sound settings. But other than that, this is going to be a very heavy controller tutorial. So, yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to jump into the settings here, and you know what, let's go from top to bottom. So number one is going to be auto overcome obstacles while sprinting. I'm just going to keep that on. I usually don't mess with that one. Damage numbers stacked, that's a pretty good one. Squad info notifications, don't really care. I mean, I play with a few people, but nothing to really be notified for. So next we're going to go into the graphics setting. So number one is I play full screen. I don't know what you guys play on, but I know if you do play on a lower end PC, then I would maybe switch it to windowed or borderless. But I guess if you want the full experience graphics wise, maybe the full frames and everything, I would play full screen. Most games play better on full screen. So next I'm gonna go into smooth. To be honest, I just like smooth. I like high FPS, not lower end graphics, but graphics enough to where it's perfect. I don't need extreme graphics to where I'm looking into the eyeballs and skull of a freaking young player that's 500,000 feet away. I just want the best one that's going to run the game smooth and I can see everything nice. So I just usually keep mine on smooth, but it's definitely your guys' preference. So last but not least, we are going to want to switch the frame rate. So you guys can usually play high. Like I said, if you're on a lower end system, I would definitely play on high. But if you guys want the best performance, bang for buck kind of frame rate, then I would definitely go very high. Like I said, the higher the frames, the better the movement, and you won't lag as much. So the last setting I am going to change is I'm going to be changing this one right here. Usually I believe it's on default, and honestly you want your game looking vibrant so you can see people maybe hiding behind trees, or maybe just see people moving. So I usually just set mine to bright. I like a bright and vibrant game more than anything. So next, we are going to be going into the keyboard and mouse settings. Actually, no, we're not. I'm going to skip that because we are on controller now, baby. So this is going to be the meat and bones of the video. And let's go ahead and just start from the top. So as you guys can see, it's custom bind keys. Now, listen, this is going to be a super dope feature a super dope feature in the future, because you're going to be able to customize your controller. Now, like I said, I play on a scuff right here, so I have two back paddles right here. Now, the only unfortunate thing thing is with the custom controls, if you click it, it says coming soon, stay tuned. So we're not going to be able to customize them yet, but hopefully in the future we will be. So you're going to have 4 default settings, which is basically going to be default controller settings, Tactics Master, Traditional Hunter, and ISIL City Ranger. So I play on default. The only reason why I play on default is I tested out the other ones and they weren't really suiting my needs. The only thing that was like really different was your tactical skill and your ultimate, where your L and B, or LB and RB, and then the tactical hunter was jump and secondary action. I didn't really like that just because I'm used to like most of my jump games be X or X on the PlayStation or A on the Xbox controller, and then the last one was the ISIL City Ranger. I didn't like that one just because your RB is like you're marking on the map, and I wasn't really fond of that. So if you guys want, like, if you guys come from like Fortnite or Apex, your best setting, your best one is probably going to be your default, just because it's your most default. The only thing that's going to be a little bit tricky and challenging is like your vertical and your horizontal flying. I've noticed like you have to hold LB and then circle, like jump, and then LB to jump, or like slide and stuff. It's going to be a little bit challenging, but I promise you guys will get it. So I play default, but if you guys want to like try out the other ones, go for it. Next is going to be aiming mode. So switch is basically going to be like your non-toggle version. So for example, if you're gonna, like, let's say you aim down sight, right? You have to press it again to leave that. Versus hold, you're just gonna be holding it, and once you're done holding it, it reverts back to normal. So I personally like hold. Honestly, I feel like holding it is just because, like I said, like let's say you're in a high intense shotgun gunfight and you want to get out of that, you have to press it again to get out of there. Versus like, you know, in your brain, you don't have to, you could just let go of it and you're, you know, back into third person. So I would stick to hold on the aiming. I don't, you know, if it's more comfortable for you to hit switch, then go for switch. You know what I'm saying? That's just, it's basically, it's non-toggle or toggle. So next we're going to go to sprinting mode, which is going to be hold, switch, and auto. So auto run, I tested out a little bit and it was nice, but one bug was that when you are running, you kind of like keep running, if that makes sense. Like you know, if you wanted to stop for like a chest or something, you kind of like had to like jump or something to like kind of cancel that auto run. So I didn't really like it too much. Honestly, I have no problem using hold, but you guys can definitely like do as you prefer. If you want auto run's a great feature. It's just, I will say it's a little bit bugged. Same with aiming mode. For example, like with the aiming, it's like even though I have it on hold, it still would be into switch. So like, you know, like after I got done shooting, I let go of it. It was still in my aim down thing. So I had to like aim again in order for it to cancel. So there's going to be a few bugs with this controller setting, but overall it's not too bad. So I like sprinting on hold, but if you want to go auto, go auto. Next is going to be vision sensitivity. So there's a few settings for vision sensitivity, and there's one bug that I'll help you guys fix. So for example, when you guys start a game up, there's going to be a bug to where when you load into the game, you're going to be on a super high sensitivity. All you have to do to change that is go into this setting, go to vision sensitivity, raise it up one, and then lower it back to default, go back in the game, and everything should be fixed. So default is going to be the one to play. I think it's like, honestly, if I had to compare it to Call of Duty or Fortnite, I would say it's about a 6.6 sensitivity. But if you guys want to go a little bit higher, you guys can go higher, because there's high, quite high, very high, ultra, and crazy. Like I said, I play on default. I don't really mind it. It's not slow, but it's not fast, if that makes sense. But if you guys want to go a step higher, you can go high, but I would say default is probably your best one. But if you guys load into a map and you notice that your sensitivity is too high, all you have to do is just go to your settings, hit default, and then go back to what you were doing. So but default is probably the best for me. So here's going to be the next setting is like the biggest like meat and bones of the controller setting, and that's going to be advanced sensitivity settings. So if you go into here you go. Here's the biggest part, right? So there's camera, firing, and vehicle. So camera is just basically going to be your character that's like not aiming down sight, or if you are aiming down sight, but you're not shooting. So for example, you have tactical skill sensitivity. That's like when you're like, let's say if you're Lucinda or if you're Bo and you have your nades, you know what I'm saying? It's how fast you're like holding your nade to throw it. So that's going to basically be your tactical sensitivity, or what, I guess whatever your ultimate is, or not ultimate is, sorry. That's going to be the tactical skill sensitivity. I keep that at 100%. I really don't want to go higher. I don't need to go a lot higher, if that makes sense. Standard view, that's going to just basically be your character walking around. Red dot scope, it is what it is. Red dot, it's basically your sensitivity during your red dot. 4x scope, going to be your 4x scope sensitivity. Ultimate sensitivity, I think that's just like your overall shoulder aim view. That's going to be your like aim down sight. 2x scope, that's obviously your 2x scope, and 8x. So I didn't really change anything. The only thing I changed, usually these are all pretty good. Onyx said you can change them to whatever you feel comfortable. Let's say, for example, your red dot scope is a little slow, you can just raise it up a little bit. But like I said, the default ones are pretty good. The only one I did change was I did notice on my 2x scope I was a little bit fast, so I lowered that one down to 60, and then my 8x scope was really fast, so I changed that one down to 20. So next is going to be the firing. I didn't change too much on that one. I kept these ones pretty low as well. But other than that, like it kind of has auto set up for you guys. Like I think it's auto been tested. And then last but not least is going to be the vehicle setting. I didn't really change a lot of this. I don't get into vehicles too often, but when I do, I think these settings are all good. I tested most of them, and most of them weren't too crazy. The only thing is I would say is maybe the driver's view, maybe up like 10, if that. So, but yeah, that's going to be your, that's going to be the advanced sensitivity settings. Nothing too crazy in there, but like I said, if you do notice like some difference in there, definitely change it. That's going to be like the meat and bone. It's going to be like the advanced setting of the controller settings. So next we are going to be going to another big setting, which I believe is your vision response curve. So in Call of Duty, for example, there is an aiming setting. So there's linear, default, or dynamic. So if you're looking for like a better, so for example, like there's two settings that you're going to want to change this one to. There's going to be high speed and high precision. High precision is going to get you better aim. However, high speed is going to be, for example, when you're in a close quarters gunfight, how fast your aim will to be able to aim into person, versus like high precision is going to be like how fast like you aim at a little bit of a distance. So for example, I'm more of an in your face kind of person. I play on high speed, but if you play a little bit further back, definitely go high precision. Either way, I don't think you get two different or like two different crazy outcomes of one of these two. So I would definitely switch to one of those two. Linear's okay, not too bad. I would just say stay away from traditional. I feel like traditional is it's a little like lackluster and slow, if that makes sense. But I would definitely go to high precision, high speed, and nothing's going to change too bad for you. So next we are going to go to invert vertical look. Basically, that's how like when you look. So for example, if you like hit down on your analog stick, it's going to look up, and then vice versa. If you look down, you're going to be looking. You're going to use your controller up. So I don't play invert just because I'm not a psychopath. But if you guys do play invert, that's how you do that. I would just stick to off, just because it's like the normal, like you use your analog stick down, it's going to look down, and vice versa. If you look up with your analog stick, it's going to look up. Next is going to be your dead zones for your sticks. I did notice I did have a little bit of, so this is going to be all controller dependent, but I feel like these are going to be the basic settings for one. I did notice with the left stick dead zone that it did have, like when you're aiming, it did have a little bit sway left. So I definitely put a little bit of glue on there, if that makes sense. So I did use a small dead zone stick for left, and then right I just left alone because I noticed that my right stick was just fine. But yeah, but you guys can keep that to none if you don't really notice it. If you guys don't want to mess with it, if you don't know what dead zone is, I would just stick to none. But like I said, if you notice that your left stick when you're aiming goes a little bit further than like when you're standing still, I would definitely set to small. Anything beyond that is kind of like, unless your controller is busted. Next is going to be the menu pointer speed. Basically, this one right here is just going to be a setting. So, for example, look how slow my cursor is now. My cursor is slow. And then I would recommend putting this one all the way up, because now it just moves a lot faster on the menu versus you waiting 10 years to finally hit the graphics button. And the last setting is going to be aim assist. You want that on because that's going to be the bread and butter for controller. And honestly, like that's what every controller player wants, is aim assist. So if you want to turn that off and you want to try to aim yourself, go for it. I play aim assist because obviously that's what controller players are known for. So and then I think the last setting I wanted to go over was your sound settings, and honestly you just want to set this one to perfect, just because obviously you want to be able to hear footsteps, shots in the mountains, enemies close, near, far, whatever. I think perfect sound settings would be able to help you guys in the long run. I usually play the background music off But let me know how you guys play it. So I think that's going to be most of the settings before you guys can jump into the game. If you guys need any help with anything, definitely leave a comment in the comment section below. I will try to help my best. Like I said, I don't really make Farlight content too much, but I've been playing the game so much that I said, you know what, we're going to start uploading content. So if you guys did enjoy this video, like I said, drop a like on today's videos. It is greatly appreciated. Make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any more content from myself. I'm going to be uploading a lot more Farlight content, so if you guys are into that, you guys want to enjoy a new content creator on the horizon, like I said, hit the subscribe button. And last but not least, leave a comment in the comment section below of any features that you guys found in the controller settings or the graphics settings or whatever, or if you guys just want to show appreciation, which is always greatly appreciated, and it helps the algorithm. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, start working on the next video. So please have yourselves a great morning, night, evening, day, wherever you're at, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.